Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Coastal Cottage, my Stronghold build, as I like to call it. Just give you a bit of a heads up before we get stuck in. I've noticed a bit of a trend regarding my videos, so I'm going to be opening up with a little bit of background and the concept behind this build, which I realise won't be to everybody's taste. I know a lot of people on other channels I've watched aren't really into narrated tours, but a lot of people are. So, my solution to this little problem is I'm going to do narrated tours, and if you don't particularly want to listen to me ramble on about it, it's absolutely fine. There's a nice handy mute button just below the video. Go for it. So, for those of you who are still listening and interested in this, the idea behind this was, as many of you may find as well, you pick up a lot of companions as you go through the game. The ones I'm not using, I tend to just send straight to whichever place I've got my main base at, my main player home. Usually Sanctuary or somewhere like that. But they wander around and they just repeat the same 4 or 5 lines of dialogue, and it can get a bit annoying. Particularly, I find that's the case with Strong, who just shouts the same lines over and over again at very high volume, and it drives me around the twist. So I decided to build him his own little home in one of the smaller settlement locations, excuse me, and try and decorate it and theme it around the super mutant concept, especially as we've got a few good bits and pieces to decorate it that way. So, ended up settling on the Coastal Cottage, and this is the result. So, I like to think of it as somewhere that somebody had settled before, possibly been taken over by raiders, something like that. And Strong's gone out and gone hunting or something like that while he's not with me. I don't have to think of him sitting around doing nothing, waiting for me to come back. So he's gone out and he's stumbled across this place, decided he likes it, and basically slaughtered the inhabitants, who are now decorating the walls. So, let's have a look inside, shall we? I see I've got fairly substantial walls surrounding this place. Can't see past my robot. And, it's a technique I picked up from Davey's and his No Respawns channel. Absolutely awesome. You should definitely check it out. It's been a very big inspiration. So let's have a look. Most of the lighting in this place is coming from fire barrels, that sort of thing, because I don't figure Strong's the type to build generators and wire things up. I wouldn't even have put the turret in if I didn't need to nudge the defense rating up a little. There we go. I've tried to keep as much of the original features in place as possible, albeit buried under everything else. So we've still got the car in there and all the shipping crates that are around the place, although I don't believe you can scrap the shipping crates, so bit of a non-option. Let's have a look around. See, we've got a bit of a combined Raider and Super Mutant thing. It's a bit limited on both at the moment, so I've done the best I can with what I have. We've got the first of the 2 original buildings in here. I've expanded out and done a bit of repair work on, or rather the original occupants have done. I don't imagine Strong's been much into building things. Some pipe weapons kicking around, a little bit of furniture left over. Come around and have a look at the other one. Yeah, I ended up putting this floor down because with the car being just here, every time I was looking this way and trying to decide on something, I'd end up backing right off the edge, dropping between the little bit of raised ground here and the car and getting stuck. It happened like 4 or 5 times. It was driving me insane, so I kept having a quick travel out to the entrance. So I decided to put a bit of floor down so you'd not fall off and get stuck. I like the effect as well, it looks alright. So we've still got most of the original features of the little boathouse here. Boat is still here. I've put a ceiling in it and some other bits and pieces around as well. And I'm now going to show you a couple of things that I managed to completely miss out on my first attempt at recording this, because I'm an absolutely daft idiot apparently. So we've got the cave, which is one of the big features of this place. I figured Strong's kind of the monster who lives here. Just make a good little den for him. So we've got bones and a deathclaw hand. He likes his big guns and his hammers, so missile launcher lying around. Glitched a load of mattresses into the floor and just dumped a load of stuff on there because I want it to look scrappy and like he's just dragged a load of vaguely soft things together and just thrown them in a corner for somewhere to sleep. And of course, teddy bear, why not? A few candles around. It's really quite easy to do this little sort of thing. The floors and the circular steel doorway just slot in very nicely. At least they do if you use the rug and pillar glitch anyway. But it's dead simple. But yeah, a few more totems around. This is the first of the houses that I built. I've just put in somewhere, I'm assuming people lived. Strong wouldn't have a lot of use for the space. In fact, I doubt he could really fit through the door, to be honest. Although his collision physics are a little optimistic on that front. I'll go and have a look at the buildings upstairs. A few more totem poles. See the back wall there. Bits and pieces left over from the previous occupants. There's a dead raider somewhere down there. Actually, I think came from an attack on the place, but could assume he's a previous occupant that Strong's just left lying around. Can't imagine Strong's the type to do a great deal of fishing, but his predecessors may have done some, so with a bit of junk knocking about the place. Occasional gun, that's more Strong's style. Yeah, I imagine if Strong went fishing he'd probably use grenades and that sort of thing. Although I don't imagine he'd even bother with that. Well, there is a Mirelurk Queen that hangs around down there, so maybe he would go fishing. Albeit with a missile launcher. So the Boxcar Shacks, I wanted just something a little different to the usual stuff, so I stuck a couple of these down. There's not much going on in here. Which, I should really do something about, put some furniture in here, but it's got a suitably scrappy super mutant dumped a load of rubbish in here kind of look about it. A little bit of rug and pillar glitch to do that. Moving on down, see the top of the walls from here, which we'll have a look round in a moment. There's the staircase, there it is. Heading on the scaffolding. Around the back here, I can't imagine Strong comes around here very often, if he even fits. But we've got his water pump, some privies, and here we have the truck that basically created the hole in the ground. I've seen a lot of people scrap this, but I don't really like to do that, just because it's such a big feature of the place. Seems like a bit of a waste, really. So, excuse me, we'll have a nip around and look at the walls. As I said, yeah, I picked this technique up from Davey on No Respawns, and it's absolutely brilliant. I love the style of it. It's really scrappy but very defensible. You should definitely check out his tutorial on it. It's absolutely brilliant technique. So let's have a wander around the top and see what's what. So we've got some barrels, and some body parts, a few guard towers which aren't actually getting used, but they do look reasonably good anyway. Assume they were here before Strong, which covers all manner of evils in this place. I like that you can see through to the entrance here. A little afterthought I had that works quite well. Some weapons up here, and the view. Can't see the Mirelurk Queen at the moment, but I haven't actually killed her, she's just hanging around here somewhere. Probably out in the sea over there. Yeah, because this is not the easiest place to build these walls, with being all on multiple levels and heights. The walls go up and down all over the place. But I'm quite happy with the results. As a first attempt at building them, in fact, I'm really happy with the results. I'll hopefully do this sort of thing in a few other places. Stick to junk fences in others, sort of thing, but I'll try and make sure the walls match the settlement design. Turn it down. Yeah, around the back here it's a bit of a nightmare to build because the ground's so high. I wanted it to look like it was actually providing an obstacle to somebody attacking this way. But it's a very long way down on that side, so it's an absolute nightmare. It's about 3 or 4 stories high, all told, when you stand on the inside of it, which made putting all the pieces together quite difficult. The use of 2 or 3 pillars and a whole load of rugs as well, I managed to glitch things in and bung up the holes and make it look good. Eventually. Certainly took some doing. Yeah, up here, I did have a plan to put another guard post up here, make a kind of lookout tower, but I wasn't really happy with the results. And I was struggling to get things to clip in and stuff without looking ridiculous. So we've just got a kind of viewing post up here. And we'll nip down to the front. I think that covers most everything in the settlement. Yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a like, hit the subscribe button and so on if you're new to the channel. I'll hopefully keep uploading fairly soon. And things should be starting to look more like this now, a bit more complicated, slightly better builds, rather than my castle one. I just wanted to show that as a starting point. As I think I said in the video, I'll probably do an updated version of the castle at some point. So thank you very much, hope you enjoyed. Speak to you soon.